Welcome to Deck Demo, where I'll be showing you a deck I've made and explaining it. Feel free to use any of the ideas incorporated into the deck and leave any ideas you want me to try in the comment section below. I'll do my best to try it. Today I'll be demonstrating my Psychic type deck. Now, the Pokemon I typically use the most is this Mega Mewtwo. It's great if your opponent has Pokemon with a lot of attacks that need a lot of energy. Now, this by itself is good, but other cards, here I'll put that to the side, like Alakazam, are also great. Now, this is a Pokemon I'd probably use in a second, if I'm already using this, or it's already out, or if for any reason I can't use this, this is my second go-to Pokemon. This is an excellent Pokemon for stuff that's already had damage done to it. And seeing as it's only got one retreat cost, attach one of these bad boys to it, it's completely free. Because this is a Pokemon you typically want to use when your opponent already has damage counters on it. If you are starting to attack a Pokemon that has full hit points, this is not a card that you should be using. I'll set that to the side so you guys can get a better look at that. Now, I've got two other Pokemon in this deck, EXs, that I love to use. This Espeon, full art, because, yeah, that's nice looking. Because it's Psyshock does some raw damage, and it's not affected by any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. It's great for the beginning, good start, and I like to use Muscle Bands, which I'll show you in a little bit when I go over the items, and it's great. So you do 90 damage, and if your Pokemon has like any EX with 100 or 180, 170 hit points, you knock it out in 2 hits, which is great. And also, its Miraculous Shine is great if your opponent has a lot of evolving Pokemon, especially if they're trying to get them out in the beginning. The other one I like using is this Hoopa from Ancient Origins. The art's also pretty cool too. Gotta throw that in. The Scoundrel Ring is great because you get to pull 3 EXs from your deck and put them on your bench. Now, the only way for this to work, though, is if you place this on your bench. This cannot be your active Pokemon for this ability to activate. Now, this is not a Pokemon I would use in battle, like as an active, seeing as its attack costs 3 pure Psychic Energies and discards 2. The attack damage does 100, but the upside to this is it can attack any of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So, yeah. Now, oops, there goes the camera. I'll probably just edit that out. Now, another Pokemon I like using is the Trevenant and Trevenant Break, both from Breakpoint. Now, even Trevenant by itself is great. I would have even thrown this in the deck. This is just an add-on. Now, its Nervous Seed is great, especially if you have, like I said, the Mewtwo in play. These two cards work great together. Its Nervous Seed ability makes it so that this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, so this is the one fighting. Your opponent's basic Pokemon has to use 1 more close energy to attack. It's pretty good. I mean, you're not always going to have that, but once you do, it's great to have. Now, this Trevenant Break works really well with this Mecha Alakazam, seeing as its Silent Fear does 30 damage to all your opponent's Pokemon, which this multiplies it. So, using this, even just once, and then switching out to this, your opponent's Pokemon will have at least 30 damage counters on it. So this would do at least this would do 130 damage total after this and 1 attack from these, which is great. So, I'll set that right there. Now, as for the pre-evolutions for the Megas, I'll go over the Mewtwo ones first. This is what I use. I use 2 Mewtwo's that had the Size Burn, which does 120. There's no reason for the 4, it's just what I have. And I will not use these by themselves. I will use these to Mega Evolve and Mega Evolve only, unless, it comes to me having to use it. Now, this is the Mewtwo I will keep and not Mega Evolve typically, because if its damage change is excellent. Because if your opponent doesn't read the card or doesn't already know the card, it's great, especially fighting other Psychic. It just switch all the damage counters onto anything really. No, it's got to be active. Oh well, it's still a good card though, and I do use it. Now, as for I lost it. Where'd they go? As for the pre-evolutions to the Mega Alakazams, I have once again got 3 more. These are all the same. I've got all 3 from Fates Collide. Those look pretty good, don't they? Now, I'll just look at this one because it's easiest to read. Its suppression attack is okay. It's probably not the best of all EX attacks, and its hit points they're not great either. 160. Now, its Kinesis ability is what you want it for, and the fact that I can Mega Evolve into that right there. Its Kinesis ability lets you add on an extra 20 and 30 damage to, I think it's 20 to your opponent's active, and 30 to one of your benched. Now, it's a great card. So, you get this, if you've played this before, play the Trevenant, then evolve this maybe even from just your bench. It's great. Now, it works even better if you've also got the Alakazam Spirit Link, which you get just extra damage once per turn. Now, here's where I get into the combos. Oops. If you've got a De-Evolution Spray, what you can do is keep this on your bench, and if this is holding the Alakazam Spirit Link, you Mega Evolve it and your turn does not end. You get some extra damage that turn. Now, that exact turn, you can de-evolve it using De-Evolution Spray, and now you're left with just... By the way, this goes back to your hand. You're left with this again. Now, and then your Pokemon attacks. It's your opponent's turn, and he attacks your active Pokemon. Remember, this is still on the bench. Now, this is in your discard. You cannot use this again. And what you do is you Mega Evolve it again, so you get more damage. It's a small combo, but it helps, especially if you're in a tough situation. Oops, just not mess with the camera. Now, for the Mewtwo. This is, like I said, a card that does a lot of damage, especially if your opponent's Pokemon uses a lot of energy to attack. Now, a card that works even better with this is the Team Flare Headringer. It's a Team Flare Hyper Gear. Now, it's kind of hard to read this, so I'll read it. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to cost 1 colorless more. When this card is removed from Pokemon for any reason, put it in the owner's discard pile. Now, you can attach this to your opponent's, active? Nope, doesn't have to be active. But keep in mind, you guys probably can't see that, but it says EX right there. You guys can see that. Yeah, it's a great card. Good combo. They work really well together. If you get both those cards, I suggest you use them. Now, here's the rundown of the rest of my deck. I've got 2 of these, which is great for the Mega Alakazam, especially how you want to keep switching out. 2 colorless to power up the Mewtwo, which, power up the Mewtwo, plus a few more energies to do some extra damage. Here are all of the item cards, excluding De-Evolution Spray, 2 Mega Alakazam Spirit Links, and the Team Flare Headringer. Energy Retrieval, Evo Soda, which I use for the Trevenant and the Phantom. Oh no, I use this for the X's. Professor's Letter to, speed things up. Energy Pals to be resourceful. I use these typically for the Espeon. Hard Charm, which is great. I don't know what. I probably would use this on the Trevenant. Bursting Balloon, which I would use, which is great because this is an item card you get to use and it's discardable. So you can attach this to, I don't know, maybe a maybe this Mewtwo right here, and it's gone. Your attack. This card's gone now, and this card has no items attached to it. You can then now attach Mewtwo Spirit Link, and then Mega Evolve it, so you do some extra damage. Mind blown? Probably not. Now, I've only got 2 supported cards in this deck, that being Wally and Pokemon Central Leader. This is a card I kind of threw it in. There was really no thought put into this one. I just threw it in there. Really, anybody would throw this card in there. Now, the other card I have in here this is the Wally. I typically only use this for the Phantom Evolution or the Trevenant to get my breaks in place, seeing as I've only got 2 in the deck. So yeah, that's that rundown. And then, of course, probably I don't know, it's debatable, I'd venture to say so. The most important things in here are the energies. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much of each thing I have. Who knows, maybe you counted and kept track. But I encourage you to, maybe use my own ideas, but, with combination of your own. Yeah, if you test this deck or have any ideas you want me to try, like I said, leave in the comment section below. You guys can't see that. You get the point. Whatever. Goodbye.